Hi, my name is Bethany and I'm an alcoholic and an addict. Um, my sobriety date is June 23rd of 2023, so just over 2 years now. Um, I still like to count my days. I haven't looked in a minute though, so I don't know how many days I have. But so um, you know, I started out with alcohol when I was really young. I probably started heavily drinking around the age of 11. Um, got into more hardcore substances as I went along in my journey, but alcohol was always like first and foremost. When I couldn't get anything else, alcohol was always my fallback. Um, so I do consider myself an alcoholic first and foremost, and that's why I work the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And um, it's a wonderful program. It's helped me with all of my issues to date, because they never seem to stop coming, right? So on June 23rd of 2023, I had my house raided with two other adults and my 1.5-year-old son inside. And that was the day that I decided that without knowing any of the 12 steps or not knowing what they entailed, that my life had become unmanageable, that I couldn't do this by myself anymore, and that I needed help, and I needed it right now. And I remember sitting in that jail holding cell throwing out as many foxhole prayers as I could, right? Just being like, if you get me out of this, I swear I will do whatever you need me to do. Just get me out of this. And um, luckily, whatever higher power there was at that time, I like to call him the Great Flying Spaghetti Monster, heard heard all of my prayers, right? And he helped me out, right? Um, so my guardian angel of a mother paid my $15,000 bond to I some they were some pretty serious charges, right? So my mom paid my $15,000 bond, and I had to wait 2 weeks to get into treatment. So I got my treatment bed, and while I was in there, there was this amazing group of people that came in every Sunday night from an AA group here in town. I live in Quincy, Illinois, so the middle of BFE, right? We're the biggest town for 100 miles, and um, like Storm was saying, the closest city to me is Springfield, Illinois, and that's an hour and a half away. And I'm out there all the time for these YPAW events, doing service and doing what I can to carry this message because it changed my life. Um, and these people who came into this treatment center gave me my first AA book, and I still have it, and it's got highlighter all over it, and it's like I carry it everywhere. It never leaves my car, right? I'm a big book thumper to the end of time. Like that's just anyway. um, so I I read that book while I was in treatment, and I'm thinking, if I don't find myself on every single one of these pages, then I'm missing a serious message here, because I was reading the doctor's opinion, the first couple of chapters, we agnostics and all of these things, and I'm thinking, they wrote this book about me. They had, like, I don't know who these people are, Bill W. and Dr. Bob, but man, this book's about me, right? Having no idea that this book has helped millions of people all over the world. And I get home, and I'm doing all of these things for court and DCFS and my son, and trying to get him back and doing all of these things. And I finished all of them. I mean, I'm still currently on probation, so I'm doing it, right? I got my son back, and all within like an ungodly amount of time, right? Like 8 months, 9 months. And I've worked through my steps with my sponsor. I got my sponsor while I was in treatment, and we absolutely turned my life around. Those 9th step promises came true for me, and I was killing it. I mean, I don't I think that I'm still killing it, right? But um and like I was one of those people that when I got out of treatment, I didn't have a job. I was barely holding on to my car. They were about to repossess it. They were about to foreclose on my home. Um and I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm killing it," right? Um and I got to that 9th step. I started making these amends. I'm doing these living amends to my son and my mom and all of my family and things, because I think that if they actually knew like what I was doing, it would cause heart attacks, right? They wouldn't be able to fathom the fact that I was out here running these streets, right? So the fact that I'm able to make those living amends and I'm able to do these amends in person and read these amends from my notebook to these people, those 9th step promises really started coming true for me in my life. And I have no idea how I did it, except for the fact that I have a higher power and the community of AA behind me, that I was able to keep my car and get caught up on payments. I'm able to keep my house. I'm sitting in it right now. Um, um, and I was able to do all of these things and really prove to not only myself but all of these people who were like, "Nah, that doesn't work. Nah, I've been in those rooms before. That program doesn't work." Or these court officers, right? Prosecuting attorneys and probation officers and all these kinds of people, that it does work, that I can do this, that and I can carry this message to other suffering alcoholics, and I can, and they can do the same for themselves with the help of a higher power and the community of AA behind them. And I think that that's like what's most important to me today. Um, so like my big service commitments are, as Storm said, we have a bid committee called ISCYPAA. We bid for ISCYPAA, the Illinois State Conference of Young People in Alcoholics Anonymous. I think that's a big part of my life today. If you ever see me at an event and my toddler's running around, we call him the AA mascot. You're more than welcome to come up and talk to him. His name is Bodie. He's a menace to society, just like his mom, but he's cute, and he'll jump in on the Lord's Prayer any chance that he gets because he thinks it's the most amazing thing ever. Um, and I really just, doing service work in my community. We just started a new young people's meeting in my community, something that has never been a thing in my community, which I think is really cool. I mean, it was a shame, but it's really cool that we get to do this now. So that's Tuesday nights at 6. We're probably going to try to get a Zoom link for that coming up. 6 p.m. Central Time. Sorry, excuse me. I should be more specific. So, but I'm still like one of these people out here, like, I'll give you a ride to a meeting. I'll show up, do whatever you need me to do. I'm really bad at Zoom, so I don't know how to do like the name change and all that. I'm really sorry, but I am available to sponsor. I have a sponsor who knows she's my sponsor. I like to sponsor women in this program. I think it's some of the best time I've ever spent with women. Really getting to know them and really being able to spread the message. What else? Yeah, just showing up for events, speaking on panels, speaking on Zoom meetings. I think that's really cool. This is the first one I've ever done. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm speaking way too fast for the ASL interpreter. She's probably like, what the? And yeah, so, um, you know, by the grace of God, there go I, right? It's one of those things that you only know if you know. So I'm really glad that we have like a bunch of newcomers on this meeting. You know, find a sponsor that works for you, not against you. Make sure you work these steps. I think it's the biggest blessing I ever could have had, working these steps, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do and keep and have all of the things that I have today, right? I wouldn't be able to have this amazing life. I wouldn't be able to have my kid in my life, or I'd probably be homeless on the streets, you know, looking for somebody's couch that I could sleep on, knowing that you know, I'm totally going to disrespect them. I'm probably going to rob them. I'm probably going to, like, you know, do drugs in their bathroom or whatever have you. And like, it's so crazy to me because I was one of the most um like avoided people on my block because of what I was doing on my block and inside my home. And now my neighbors like come knock on my door and come like have barbecues in my backyard and stuff, and like, you know, you see the Facebook post of like backyard barbecue 90s R&B music. Like that's what my house is now. I'm the get together house in a totally different way than what it used to be, which is crazy to me. It's done like a complete 180 um in my life, and I couldn't be more blessed, and I couldn't be more grateful for the life that I have today. And I'm really glad that I get to share it with people, like the people on this meeting, not only young people but just people in general, because you know, it was an old timer who had 37 years of sobriety, who gave me my first big book, and I'm only 31 years old. I'm like, dude, you've been sober longer than I've been alive. That's crazy to me. Um, like, I'm pretty sure when my mom got out of prison when I was younger, she would come to these AA meetings in our, you know, hole in the wall, back of the bar on Fifth Street type of place. And you were probably chairing the meetings back then. Like, you probably don't recognize me because I was 7 years old at the time, but here we are. Like, you planted the seed way back then, and we had no idea. Um, so crazy things like that happen. And I'm just really grateful to be here. I'm really grateful that I got to speak at this meeting. It's my first time here. So I'm like I said, I'm no good at Zoom. I had no idea meetings like this existed until like a couple of months ago. And then Storm asked me to come speak on here. Um, so I'm just really grateful. And I think that's all I got. I'll pass.